everybody. Welcome to another video. This is Waverly and she's 4 months old. I'm Olivia and I tried to do this video by myself, but she wanted to join like 30 seconds into it, so I was like, okay, we're gonna pick and choose our battles and I'll hold you. And today I just wanted to talk about like a little bit more of like a vulnerable video. And I don't know, I feel like people don't like talking about like postpartum, like anxiety and depression a lot, which I don't know why. I'm an open book, so I mean like I'll talk to you about anything, so I guess maybe that's why it's like a little easier for me, just because like that's more of my personality is like, if you want to know something, I'll tell you. But yeah, I wasn't surprised, like just like a little short backstory, like I've had anxiety and depression like for a while, so I wasn't like really surprised when I noticed some of those same symptoms, I guess, after I had her. And so like I guess just some things that I struggled with is like I just always think that she's gonna die like 100% of the time. Like if I leave her for a second, like a cinder block is gonna like appear from the earth and crush her and kill her, or I will accidentally, like if I, like the other day, she was like not even like next to me, but she was like in the kitchen and I was putting like the silverware away from the dishwasher and I was like, I'm gonna trip and this knife is gonna fly across the room and stab her and kill her. Like just stuff like that is like what I deal with, and it's like obviously scary. And it needed to be addressed, so it's addressed, and hence this video. And you may be thinking, well, if you still have those thoughts, like, are your methods working? And I'm like, I still have those thoughts, but I know what to do when I have them. I'm not just like all the time, like I'm like, okay, let's think about this. Is this rational or not? You know, like I know I have the tools to kind of deal with those thoughts versus just letting them rule my life. So that's just like a little snippet of my story. So let's jump into it. Today I just want to talk about 5 things that can help you if you notice that you're having like symptoms, or 5 little pieces of advice, I guess. And I wanted to do it now while I'm like still in it, so I know what it's like still. Like I don't know, I feel like it'd be like weird if I was like 2 years from now like trying to remember, so that's why I'm like doing it now, and I have a 4-month-old, like I'm still like dealing with it. But I wanted to share like tips when I'm in the thick of it, and I'm like, this is what has been helping me, and I hope it can help someone else out there too. So my first tip is do something about it. If you notice any symptoms, or if you feel weird, if you're having like crazy thoughts, do something about it. And I'm gonna like talk about what you can do in my next steps, or my next tips. So number 2 is tell your care provider, your like OBGYN, or like I had a midwife through like a hospital practice. So I told her, and she had me coming right away. So I wasn't supposed to, like I wasn't supposed to see anyone until 6 weeks postpartum, and I ended up seeing my midwife at 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks postpartum. So that was really helpful. And when I went in for my 2-week appointment, she made me feel good, like, a lot of people have this and all that stuff. And then she told me, she gave me a group to go to. She said, go to this group, promise me you'll go, and then tell me how it went afterwards. And I did it. Like, I wanted to get better, so I did her recommendation. Like, was it hard? Yes, it was. Like, just kind of doing anything at that point was hard. So 2 weeks postpartum, going out, going to somewhere I didn't know, talking to people I didn't know was like super hard, but I'm really glad I did it. And then I told her it was great. Thank you for the recommendation. And so I took her advice, and then she wanted to see me at 4 weeks, and I did that, and then I saw her again at 6 weeks. And then number 3 is find a good therapist. And some people are like, oh, therapy, it's so, like, you need to be like crazy to go to therapy. And I tell you, first of all, we're all a little crazy. Like, that's just a fact of the matter. And second, I think that everyone should go to therapy. I think it's super helpful, just like from the day to day. Like, stuff comes up in life all the time, and it's just nice to have someone to talk to about it. And so I just think that for me, going to see a therapist who challenges me is really helpful. If you go to a therapist and you don't like them, don't give up. Look for a different one, because their therapists are not like one therapist fits all people. Like, I can't tell you how many therapists I've gone to. I've gone to therapists who I straight up didn't like. I've gone to therapists who I liked for a season. I've gone to therapists who have changed my life. So, if you don't like them, try someone new until you find someone you like and who is helping. Like, if you're going there and you don't feel like it's helping, then you're not going to the right therapist for you. And then my next tip, number 4, so that was 3. Number 4 is, I know this is like gonna sound really hard, especially if you have depression, is go work out, get your body moving. And I know you're like, that's the last thing I want to do. Like, whatever you have to do. I joined a gym that does classes, and their like policy is, if you don't show up, or if you signed up but you don't show up, your account gets charged. So I specifically signed up the day before so that I have to go, otherwise my account will be charged $10. And that is how I go. Like, seriously, if I didn't have like that like motivation of losing $10 every single time, I wouldn't go. So that's what works for me, and you just need to figure out what works for you, because let me tell you, when I go to the gym, like, I'm happier, my anxiety is lower, my depression is lower. Just like going out, getting your body moving, getting those endorphins like releasing, or whatever sciencey thing, helps the brain and body. It helps, like, it seriously helps. That's all I gotta say about that. And then number 5 is, this is like kind of personal, but I believe that just like praying helps. Like, give it to God. For me, knowing that God has a plan is comforting. Knowing that He is in control is comforting. For me, if my daughter, like, worst case scenario, were just to pass away tomorrow, knowing that that is for some reason beyond my comprehension right now, that is God's plan, is comforting. And I pray about my anxiety. I pray just to like understand God's plan more, and for me that is just comforting. So that is my 5th and final tip. In conclusion, I love being a mom. I really do. Like, it's the best, but it doesn't come without its challenges, just like everything in life. Just to recap, number 1 is, if you notice that you have any anxiety or depression from postpartum, don't let it rule your life. Do something. It can get better, and there are things that you can do to help, so don't just let it overtake you. Number 2, tell your doctor. They have resources and can help. Yes, they can. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And they want to. They want to help you feel better. That's what they're there for. Number 3 is, try and find a therapist. They can give you tools. They can give you different like things to think about when you have bizarre thoughts, or ways to get up and get moving out of bed. And that leads me to number 4, which was exercise. Get that body going. It really does help you feel better. And if you can figure out what motivates you to get up and get going, do it, because it's worth it and helps a lot. And number 5 is just pray. Pray to God that He can help you, because He will and He wants to. And that's just what, like, the kind of God we have is He's loving and just wants to help us. So those are our tips. I know this video is like a little more taboo, but I don't want it to be. I want to just like be able to have like an open conversation about it. And if anyone has any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to message me or leave a comment or whatever. But I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching and listening to it. And we will talk to you later.